Good afternoon, kindergarten writers. So I'm excited. We're going to do things a little bit differently today. But the first thing I need you to do is you need to grab your writing journal. You should have your writing journal, a pencil, and you're going to open up to the very next blank page. So the last thing that we did in my class was I get a net. We were practicing that short E sound. Today, we're going to practice being the awesome writers that you are. Practice those skills as well as being great illustrators. And I'm going to give you a little bit more freedom today in what you are creating for your illustration, your picture, okay? So, to be a great writer, we're going to start on the very next blank page. Oh, didn't erase all the way. That's okay. Make sure your page is blank. I'm going to turn this to see if we can see this a little bit better. Move you around. There you go. All right. So remember, in our journal, we do our picture on the top part of the page, and we write our sentence on the bottom. We're going to start with the sentence today. So I know I suggested last time, if it makes it easier for you, go right to the middle of the page and draw a line straight across to say, this is my writing, this is my illustration. Okay, so as good writers, we're practicing our skills of being able to write a sentence using uppercase letters when we're supposed to, lowercase letters, using our finger spaces, making sure that we're spelling the words correctly, and using ending marks, okay? Those are all skills that we have been practicing and you are able to do on your own, friends. So for today, we're going to practice some of our sight words and our heart words, different words that we have already learned, and we're going to practice writing those and putting them in a sentence. So we're going to write the sentence, I like to play. Let's count how many words. I like to play. That's right, 4 words. So we're going to start, remember, on the very left side of the page. Let's make sure, remember, you need to write on the straight line. So most of us have the writing that is for new writers that has a top line, a dotted line in the middle to help us learn how to form the letters correctly, and the bottom line. All of your words should start or should follow that bottom line. I should not see you writing down the page. I should not see you starting a word here and then ending up over here. You are writing all along that straight line, okay? And you need your finger spaces. Some of us are still smushing our words together and it's hard to read. If you are not taking the time to make sure that you are writing your letters the right way and nice and neatly, we can't read your work. And so when we move on to trying to create our own stories and our own books, we're not going to be able to share them with others. They're not going to be able to read it. So that's why we take the time and why it's so important for us to do this here. Because as we keep growing, you're going to need to be able to do these things, okay? Especially even going into first grade. You're going to be expected to be able to write more, all right? So let's get to work. We're going to do our sentence. So I was our first word. We know that all the way on the left side of the page, guys. Not here, left side. The word I is an uppercase I, not a lowercase I. Lowercase I is not the word I. It's just a random I in the middle of the page. So straight line down. Let me clue you in here. Guys, take a look. Take a look. You see how I started at the top line, went down to the bottom line. Then I put the line across, the line across. That is how we're using it. If you happen to not have the paper that has the dotted line, that's okay. That's okay. You still need to stay on the line. That bottom line, staying on it. All right, so I, finger space, our next word was like. This is one of our heart words or our sight words, however you want to call it. That means we just need to know how it's spelled. It doesn't follow the normal rules. So our word like, we know that that's the first sound. I-k. Is an L, so we're going to write L. I has its long sound here. And I'll tell you why, even though this isn't necessarily a skill we're going to learn this year. But for those of you, some of you are ready. So, I-k. I know there's an I, so the letter that says k is K. We talked about that in my class, that K works with I and O. C is with A, E, U. So L-I-K. Well, that's not how we spell like. Why this is a heart word is because it has got a silent E on the end. So that E doesn't make a sound, but what that E tells us is it changes the sound the I makes. So instead of I saying it's short sound, it says its name, I. So that's that rule for you, friends, okay? So I like, another finger space, to, the word to. That's another heart word. We should know that one already. It is T-O, spells two. This is not the number two. This is I like to go to the playground. I like to eat pizza. I like to raise my hand. I like to be a good friend. That is the word to. Shh. So I like to, and our last word, it's a new sight word that we've been working on, is play. So finger space, and how we spell the word play is, it's a P. That's one of our letters that falls below the line there. So O-A. That's where our heart sound comes in. A-Y says A. So we've got I like to play. I've got my uppercase letter. I have my finger spaces. I think I'm forgetting something. What do we think I'm forgetting?
Punctuation.
The punctuation mark, my ending mark to say that's the end of my sentence. I'm going to use a period today. So that's that dot right on the line, right at the end there, okay? That is a period. It says that's the end of my sentence. That's the end of the complete thought. A sentence is a complete thought on paper. It's not, I like. That's not a complete thought, friends, okay? That doesn't tell me what you like. It's got to have a complete thought there, all right? So you got to make sure you have all the words. I like to play. Now, because we're such amazing writers, I know each and every single one of you is going to look back and make sure you have spelt all the words correctly. You're going to double check. Do you have your finger spaces? Yes, check. Uppercase I, check.
Yes.
Punctuation mark,
Yes.
check. And you're going to make sure, is it all in a straight line? If it is not, and you need to correct any of those things, good writers always go back and do what we call editing.
Yay.
That means we go back and we fix our mistakes, or it's not even a mistake, we just see something that might look better or might be better a different way. And we go and we erase it and we fix it, all right?
Yay.
Okay, now today, exciting, I want you guys to draw your own picture that matches this sentence, okay? So I like to play. I'm going to draw an example, okay? Just because that's what we do here. But I want you can draw how you like to play, all right? So I'm going to draw myself and a friend playing and building with blocks. Remember, you could draw, maybe you draw yourself riding your bike. Maybe you draw yourself playing with, playing soccer. How do you like to play? You get to be your own illustrator and draw your picture. I'm just going to give you a little example and some guidance. So I'm going to draw playing with blocks. So I'm going to draw head. That's circle head. Don't forget your circle eyes. Smiley face because we're happy. I'm going to give her some hair. All right, stick body. Stick leg with a bubble shoe. Stick leg with a bubble shoe. I'm going to give her a dress. And just going to have her arms up saying, woo! Yeah, I like to play with blocks. Then I'm going to draw and build some blocks right here. Just use some rectangles and some squares to make a figure. Let's see. So there's one block, there's two blocks, and I connect them. I'm going to have them stack up, right? Here's some more over here. If you need to pause, if you need more time, go ahead and do that. Remember, you don't have to draw the same picture as me. I'm just trying to show you an example of what I would draw. All right, so there's some blocks that we started building with, all right? Then I'm gonna draw a friend that I'm playing with. I'm gonna give her a head, stick body, stick leg with a bubble shoe, stick leg with a bubble shoe. Give her another dress. You can draw boys, girls, however you like it. Everybody's having a great time. Yay! Smiley face. She's gonna have some long hair too. All right, and there we are playing with. Now I like to add details in because it makes the picture more interesting. And when we look at books and we think about writing our own story, we want to make sure our readers are interested and want to keep reading. So I'm going to draw a square over here, or rectangle actually. You know, I like my windows. I like to draw my trees where I do a little curved line and then I give it like a cloud bubble. There's my tree. I'm gonna do a little sun up here that I'll come back and color at the end. We should always add color. Then the other thing I'm gonna add over here is I'm gonna make a door. So on the other side of the page, I'm gonna make a rectangle shape and just give it a circle doorknob. Now I could even go so far as to draw a rug. Maybe they're playing on a rug. Maybe I draw some more toys. Or maybe your picture could look completely different. I'm very excited to see what we come up with. All right. So once you are all done drawing your picture, then you can get your crayons out and you're going to add color to the picture. All right. My example, I just finished it and I was so excited to share it with you that I didn't even go back and color it yet. But this was what my example looked like. I like to play. And here was my picture that I redid over here for you. So make sure you take your time. Make sure you can tell what your picture is. Add some details in there and make sure that you have drawn something that you like to play, because we're sentence. I like to play. P-L-Y spells play. All right, my friends. This was fun. I can't wait to see all your creations. Have a great day. I'll see you later.